Alrighty, how is everyone doing today? And welcome to my channel. This channel is for educational purposes, and we check out great theories, concepts, and discoveries that you're probably not familiar with because they have been suppressed. And you have to do some digging to uncover these things. But if you did, they would affect a great benefit to you for your quest for better spiritual, mental, and physical health. And this is a feature that we have called Your Blind Side, which is for the truthers and diggers and anons out there that may be involved in the info war and are preoccupied with the uh, exigent circumstances and maybe aren't seeing the big picture or just aren't watching their back. And this is to let you know about things coming up. Um, and I recognize that I might be a little bit ahead of the curve here or even jumping the gun, but I see no reason to continue participating in the info war. It seems to me that it is over, at least for me. Um, and I know that that could be a, a detraction because, it's not over till it's over. And you have to play out the string. And, you know, you got to keep your foot on the gas pedal until it's all over. Well, I guess I wasn't much into the whole thing anyway. Um, it's something that I've been paying attention to, but I guess I don't really consider myself to be um, a strong, uh, anon or anything like that. That I was a truther 20 years before any of this even started, and so I have kind of my own set of allegiances. But when I noticed that the truthers were all aligned in a certain way, I uh, took note and paid attention. I didn't understand some of it. Some of it I still don't understand, and I'll probably be getting into that. But so uh, so you're not really losing too much if I drop out, you know. But I think you might gain something from me dropping out in the long run because I will be able to, I think, help a lot in the next phase, which is what we're heading toward. Most of you are still involved in the last phase, which, as I said, I think is already over or is just in mop up territory where it's in the end game. You can tell who's going to win, but the moves haven't all played out. Um, but then after that, the question is what what needs to be done after defeating the globalists, and that means that the patriots are in control. And so, what are they going to do with that control? And I do not like the answer to that question. Um, uh, I see most of the patriots wanting to go backwards into the old days and going backwards into the old religion, the old patriotism, the old history, um, almost uh, like it was we are going back to It doesn't matter. Back to the uh, pre uh, 20th century. Uh, you know, um, and that's not how things work. You have to move into the future, conservative or not. Um, we can't go back to the day where we decide that Christopher Columbus is a hero, um, or you know that's just know nothingism. That's just I don't want to go into the future thinking that all white people are bad and um, you know nobody knows what gender they are and uh, other absurdities that the left is putting forward. But I'm not going with the other pole of that opposite, which is that, America has never done anything wrong, and that all of the uh, old heroes of history need to continue to be celebrated, and that we're just going to kind of go with our Christian religion without doing any research into whether it's true or not. And that just seems to be where you guys want to go with this. And I can tell you what the final result is going to be because history repeats itself. And the final result is going to be witch burnings, and it's going to be inquisitions, and it's going to be crusades. And uh, I think some of you want to go, that's where you want to go. And so that's why I'm out here, because that's not where we're going. And we're going to have to hash this out somehow. Um, you might have more power and more numbers than I do, but I've got the facts, I've got the evidence, and you don't, because there isn't any evidence for Christianity. There isn't any evidence for, the age of exploration being pure and God driven. And there isn't any evidence for Christianity being the founding pillar upon which the United States lies. Um, you can twist the evidence if you want, and you guys have enough mental illness that it seems that you're willing and capable and able to do that. Um, it's really disappointing to just kind of watch how you uh, are manipulating the facts and the evidence to just suit your purposes, and that like it's kind of like this truther stuff has had no effect on you, and it's just truther if it's convenient for me, otherwise no. And uh, everybody that's opposing me is an agent of Satan, and they need to be burnt at the stake, or um, and that is the danger that I see. The other danger is that the boss, the person in charge of the alliance there, uh, he knows. He knows the truth. He knows, and he's pandering to you. He knows that Christianity is not real and that it was a psychological operation just like everything else, and that it was written by the Romans. He's directly descended from those same Romans. And so he's just pretending that he, whatever, is a Christian or you know, supports the Christians. I support the Christians. I support your right to worship how you want to worship. I just think it's insane to do so. But if that's what you want to do, but if you want to do that, you're not doing it with me. And there's a lot of people like me, I think, out there who, have some common sense and see the ridiculous excesses of the left. But at the same time, we're not going all the way backwards here. This is a future. We're going into the future. We're not going back to covered wagons and, you know, um, Little House on the Prairie or whatever. Um, so that is what I see that is in your blind side. And I urge you to pull out of the info war and get ready for the next phase. There's a lot of red pilling that needs to be done. Everybody is going to have a reckoning with their own heart, with their own emotions, their conditionings, their addictions. And those things are going to have to be dealt with before we move into the next phase. By hook or by crook, you're just not going to be walking right into this. Um, so, like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute, and we'll see you next time. And remember to watch your blind side.